Hello, hello, hello. Hey, friends. If you're here watching the replay, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Svava Brooks. I am a trauma recovery coach, and I like to hang out here most weeks, Tuesdays and Thursdays, with my fellow survivor thrivers as we work our way through my book, one day, one page at a time, sometimes, right, one moment at a time. If you're curious about the coaching that I offer, please visit my website, svavabrooks.com. But if you're here live right here, right now, please say hello. Please let me know that you're here so I can welcome you and celebrate you. We welcome any comments and questions related to trauma and healing. And if I don't know the answer, I will turn it over to the community, because there is so much wisdom here in this space. But from my heart, welcome, welcome, welcome. How are we doing today, my friends? Hey, Carrie, how are you? Glad to have you here with us. How are you? And that's always where we start. How are we right here, right now? Come as you are. I'm coming to you from Portland, Oregon, and it is warm today. Yep, my hair is up because it's 90 in Portland today. So, whoo! Thanks, Rob. Hey, Beverly. Hey, Rob. How are you guys? Yeah, today we are staying cool. We're doing what we can to stay cool. Got my water, been drinking lots of water. I'm not complaining because, right, a few days ago I was telling you guys it's been gloomy. So I'm not complaining. The sun is out. But sometimes it gives me a little bit of a challenge. My sinuses were feeling it yesterday. So, hey, friend. Beverly says it's 90 there too. Hey, Sue P, thank you, beautiful flowers and hearts. And Sue S, it's hot there too. Yes, exactly, I know. Rob, not that hot here, huh? Summer is here, summer is coming, and I was looking at my at the weather forecast for the next few days. Let's see. It is, no, I'm not in San Diego, and I'm not in Iceland. It is, yep, it's gonna be a little cooler tomorrow, and then it drops down to 60 over the weekend. So 60 for a couple of days, then we're in the 70s and back down to 60. So it's like this really spike in the heat. Ugh, my sinuses do not tolerate that very well. So, and hence I took a little time out yesterday, but I'm glad to be here with you all today. Carrie says it's probably going to storm. Ooh, in the 70s. Yes. So we know there's a not a thunderstorm, but there's a storm coming to the East Coast, right? South Carolina. Hey, Lady Leo. Hey, friend. Hey, Mark. Welcome, new friend. We're glad you're here. Well, you're in good company. We're going to be talking about how to cope with and how to heal after trauma. It is a journey, hard work, hard work. So easier to do in good company. So you're in good company right here. So we welcome you. We will start our deep dive here in just a little bit after we welcome everybody and check in and see how people are doing. Hey, Rachel. Good to see you. Hey, Denise. We got a full house, my friends. Full house. You got a notification. Beverly, because of the weather? Nice, nice. Well, I'm going to let you guys catch up. It's so great to see you all coming in here. Yay! Already makes my heart sing just to be here with everyone. Yes, that's it, my friend. You hang out with us here for a little while. And if you disappear, if you take a break, it's okay. Sometimes we all need to take breaks, but we miss you. Nice. Awesome, Beverly. Oh, got it. All right. All right. See, I'm reading into things that can get me into trouble sometimes. I'm glad you found us. I'm glad you found us. So, hey, Mark. He says, I've kind of found that trauma has taught me how to be a better person, but still wouldn't wish it on anyone. Well, my friend, Mark, I am right there with you. I wouldn't wish trauma on anyone. I wouldn't wish my life story or past, especially my childhood, on anyone. But I also know because of it, I have an appreciation for my life, for life in general, for humanity, for what I've learned, some of it the hard way, right? I wouldn't change it at all, because it certainly broke open some things inside of me that I don't know that I would have gotten in touch with, but because of, right, the feelings that I had to sit with. So post-trauma growth, right, Mark? So I'm right there with you. And what you will find here, Mark, is that I'm very direct. I'm very straightforward. We talk about trauma. We talk about the hard stuff, and we welcome the truth as it's showing up for you. Your feelings are always welcome, and always welcome to question everything. I think that's important for all of us to do. We don't always have to agree, but my train, the thought just left. But sharing, right, in a community, what we're learning and how we are healing keeps us focused on the things that we can change. We can't change the past, but what we can change and what we are learning. There's so much that we can change. We can take our power back. We are learning we can change our mind and our bodies and the connections. And how do we live out of what this thing called human is? Are we living out of the hurt, or are we living out of the heart and the life that we want to create now, that we can make some better, different choices? So today we are going to talk about unhealthy coping strategies. Many of them were necessity for us growing up. We didn't have a choice. It was the best solution given our childhood, or our, what was happening in our home, or what was going on with our caregivers. But the thing is, now, sometimes that coping strategy is getting in the way of us making that shift. And very much it's become an ingrained habit, to the point that for many of us, it's like going on right underneath our eyeballs, or right here in the background, where it's like, no, I got this. You don't have to think. No, I got this. You don't have to do anything. Right? We go on autopilot. So, and not to say that it's necessarily easy to change it, but one day, one step at a time, we can bring those further up into awareness so we can do something about it. And again, so much easier to do in a group where we are kindly reminded by our fellow humans that we are not alone, right? Yes, it's hard, but we got it. Yeah, it works until it doesn't work anymore. That's right. And then that becomes the red flag, right? When it's starting to cause her more pain, then and it's usually, unfortunately for a lot of humans, right? Things need to become uncomfortable for us to be willing. Unfortunately, right? It has to reach that point that hurts and for us to be willing to consider something else. So many, you find those coping strategies as the past is unraveling. Yep. Still hard to give up. Yes, that's right. We have to recognize them. And for some, right, me included, I had to realize I was invested in keeping those coping strategies. And then to be kind to myself because I recognize why. Why, right? The devil I knew, right? So, and that's where being relentless served me well. Kicking and screaming. I'm gonna do this. So, habitual, yes, absolutely, exactly. So, becoming aware of it, understand what it is and why we're doing it, and the back wiring, and then recognize I'm putting more energy into, and I call it like my life force, into keeping my coping mechanism in place, then, and which is also then contributing to resisting the change. Exactly, what caused them? Yes, so there's a few moving parts. Yes, exactly. Little Carrie needs you to be brave. Yes, exactly. We have to become the parent and the protector, right? You know, reparent ourselves, support ourselves to go through the stages of development that we maybe missed out on. And that can feel uncomfortable, right? I'm like, I'm a grown woman. I should know these things. I should understand. I feel so inept. It was embarrassing at times. But then I reminded myself, hey, sweet baby Svava. Hey, little girl. Hey, young woman. Hey, sweet baby. Whatever words soothe your heart, help me to understand. It's okay. It's okay. This is how we learn. Hey, Sharon. Welcome, friend. So good to see you. Glad you're here. So I am popping over here to our Facebook group where I'm going to set up our questions, and also then where we have a handful of group members that have given me permission to share their journal entries today. So we've already touched upon this, right? We develop lots of unhealthy coping strategies coming from the book, day 149. In our childhood as a result of child abuse. We create these false beliefs because we were too young to process the emotional and physical pain of the abuse. These are the toxic thought patterns, right, that then end up sabotaging our adults' life. So the two questions here, and I also pulled up an article on seven unhealthy coping mechanisms, but I'm going to also put it out to the group. You know, have you identified your unhealthy coping mechanisms? And if you're, right, not so sure, because sometimes, like I said, they're just right underneath here. It's hard to see them sometimes. Two questions. What is one unhealthy coping strategy from your childhood that you know is sabotaging your adult life? And what small step can you take today to turn this toxic strategy into a healthy one? So I'd love to hear from you. If you're not a part of this closed Facebook group, that's okay. It's all right. We'd love to hear from you and your thoughts. I'm going to start with sharing Lady Leo's comment. Let's see here. Beverly says, I have numerous old odd habits, harmless to others, but leave you vulnerable. Yes, I understand, Beverly. Hey, Minnie. I know I have them, but not named them properly. All right, great awareness. Mark, it is so sad the amount of girls that get abused. I'd like to be the guy that gets to deal with abusers. I'd make sure they suffered more than any of their victims. I hear you, Mark. I hear you. I hear you. I do understand. We are glad you are here with us. We get it. We do get it. So Lady Leo, her comment today on these two questions, she says, the one behavior that I still utilize from my childhood trauma is cutting people off and isolation. Although it's not as quick and or intense, it continues to show up in my adult life. Can you guys relate? Anybody else? Cut people off and isolate? Yep, that used to be me too. She goes on to say, however, when those scary emotions show up in relationships, instead of the knee-jerk reaction of shut down and stay to self, I will try to take time to stop the racing thoughts. Look at the entire situation. I'm identifying what I see as the problem, weigh out what the person means to me and the relationship. And if the relationship is one that I want to continue, I have learned that I can forgive and not allow a person back into my life. Excellent, Wanda. Excellent, Lady Leo. Can you guys relate? I know Lady Leo's not alone. Yes. I walk away from friendship when they get too close, says Carrie. Yep, I can relate. I can relate. You're not alone. I hear you, Sharon. Rachel says, I've been very upset about my kitty not being well, and the pain causes me to isolate a bit. Yes, I hear you, Rachel. Can we acknowledge Rachel here? And Lady Leo, you're not alone. You're not alone. Hey, Mark, thank you for stopping by. If it's late, by all means, sleep is top priority for self-care. So glad you were here. Thanks for coming by. We appreciate it. Yes, Rachel, right? There is fur baby lovers in this space. So I'm so glad that you are here with us and sharing. It is hard. It is hard. Yeah, when something scary is happening in our life and we feel like we don't have control or we don't know what's going to happen. It is hard. So I'm very glad that you're here. Yes, it is so hard when our pets are sick. They can't communicate with us. What's going on? What do they need? How can we ease their suffering? It is hard. My heart feels you, Rachel. Yes. Thank you, friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yes, Yes. Slightly, says Sharon. For a baby, 90 pounds. Oof. Carrie says, I was triggered today and don't even know why. I hear you. I hear you. Yep. There you go, Rachel, right? Yeah. Again, it doesn't mean that because I'm going through something, you're going through something, doesn't mean that, right, that we can share it. We tend to minimize, right? I don't want to burden, I don't want to inconvenience, right? It helps all of us when we can find a way to share. Yeah, it is definitely, Denise, can be easier to hide and isolate than to put ourselves out there, right? It can feel risky. It can feel risky. Very vulnerable. And most of us here, how did we survive? I'm tough. I'm strong. Yeah. Right? And yeah, sometimes you have to isolate. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Recognizing sometimes that's the first step, and then to maybe identify, I am isolating. How can I reach out to others that are safe, that have proven and demonstrated, right, that they are safe people to hold space for me while I am struggling or going through this hard time. Yep, Carrie says learning that reaching out is helpful, but it's difficult. Yes, I absolutely. It goes against our nervous system. It goes against what we've maybe done in the past. Well, we're good at hiding. Yes, yes. It's safer not to expect good things from others, or that people will show up, or that people might care, right? Exactly. If we've experienced rejection or perceived, and that historical experience, that old childhood experience, colors the present moment and our expectation. That's just what naturally happens. So it is tricky to navigate, right? It is. So then when we recognize, okay, I'm going through some hard times, looks like I'm withdrawing from people, right? I understand why, but I also think it would support me in what I'm going through to reach out, to connect with other people. Aw, love hearing that. Love hearing that. And that goes along with, right, if it's a safe person that we have established a good relationship, a safe relationship where we also know that we give the person permission to let us know if they don't have it, if they cannot hold a space for us right now, that we've given them permission to be honest so we don't feel rejected, right? I reach out to a friend, I welcome the no, right? I'm telling you, can you please hold space for me? I'm going through a lot. It feels actually very risky and vulnerable to tell you this, but I would rather let you know what I need instead of assuming that you don't want to support me, right? And then if they can't, right this minute, like, is this a good time, or can we make time? And again, it's important for us then to remember the mindset, because the part of us who expects the worst, that's actually unhealthy coping, right? Maybe from our victim self or inner child. Our adult, loving, caring, kind, compassionate self, of course, I would be here for other people. I'm going to be here. I'm going to assume people want to support me back. Lady Leo, I love that. Rachel, right? I kicked and screamed the first year in this space. I kept saying, they're gonna leave. They're gonna leave. They're gonna kick me out. It's just a matter of time for that other shoe to fall. I get it, Lady Leo. I get it. I told you. I told you. Yes, I hear you, my friends. That's right, Sue. We're still here. You found a pretty stubborn bunch here. Consistency. Yes, right? Daily guide, 365 days. That's how we do it, my friends. That's when I realized today is my day to thrive, my day to expect good things, my day to want to rewire this mind and this heart and this body for change moving forward. Yes, the past is going to keep showing up, but I get to question the past now because I know why it's here. I know it served me, but it doesn't serve me for where I'm going. Yes, so be gentle with yourselves, my friends. You guys are great. I thought I saw, right, Sharon sharing some good news. Woohoo! Hang in there. Hang in there. We're so excited for you, Sharon. Thank you so much for sharing. So thank you, Lady Leo. Sue P, I'm sorry guys. Sue P shared with us. She says, there's a part of me that find it almost impossible to believe she is loved and wanted and therefore feels desperately lonely. She craves for love, and yet at the same time, she resists it and is afraid of it. That has affected all my relationships with myself, with others, and also with God, Spirit, universe. That has affected all my relationships with myself, like I said, and I have been hard on myself and neglected myself for years and always felt outside of any group I belonged. And during the lockdown, I have found myself in a position where people are only relating and offering support to me through another person, which has made things feel worse. To turn this around, I've been doing my best not to neglect myself as I have in the past. Instead, I'm learning to take notice of and care for myself and to be kinder to myself. Can you guys relate to Sue? Me too. Me too. Hey, Minnie. Thumbs up, my friend. You're good. Minnie, you're good. I just saw your quick question. I'll comment later, but I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. You're all good. It's all good. So thank you, Sue. Thank you, Sue. Hey, Carrie, she says, I thought I was the problem. Maybe I'm the solution. Well, Carrie, I know for a fact that you have the solution for you. Absolutely. Right? We, in our heart of hearts, know our truth and what we need. So thank you, Sue. That was beautiful. So powerful. Right? So Sue, can I put you on the spot? Can you share what you're doing now? I got Sue under a microscope right now. She's digging deep. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. There you go, Carrie. That's right. We're still trying to figure it out, not giving up. Nope, 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 nope. We are gonna figure this out. That exactly, very insightful from Sue. So much awareness. So much awareness. I don't mean to put you on the spot, Sue, only if you'd like to share, because I think it will give some insight for others here as well. But you're doing a beautiful job. So thank you for sharing your journey and how it's getting in the way. All right, Mark, I get it. It is hard to sleep in the heat. We're glad you're here. It's a puzzle, right, Beverly? It is. Thank you, Carrie. Yep, yesterday was good self-care. Absolutely. My head was in pain from some sinus pressure. I went back to bed. I tried yesterday. No, I said I'm trying again tomorrow. And it worked. I'm here. Well, thanks, Mark. We're glad you're here. Sharon says, I have come to love my weighted blankets. There you go. That's right. I'm so glad, Sharon, you found a way to support yourself and that inner 3-year-old. So glad you found a way to support that little 3-year-old. Sue P, trying to listen to myself, understand what I am feeling, and understand what story I'm telling myself about what I'm feeling, right? And what I'm believing. That's it, right? Story follows state. What are you feeling? What state are you in? Because the story follows the state. That's how it works. Science backs that up. Beverly says, all this therapy must be very tiring on the mind and the body. I understand. But Beverly, that was it. Once I realized, yes, it's hard work to start to really turn inwards on the thoughts and the feelings and what's going on in the body. But I also realized that if I'm not choosing my intention, like if I don't use the energy that I've been given for the day, if I don't intend what I want to use it for, then by default, my mind and body will go the path of least resistance, my hardwiring to try to stay safe and my old beliefs. So one day. And doesn't mean that we don't take breaks from healing and recovery. But it also, for me personally, when I realized thriving was pretty much a lifestyle, right? I wanted to really take care of me, right? Take care of my body, take care of my mental, emotional, physical health. It all came together. Hey, Mark, I'm a trauma recovery coach. If you want to learn more about what I do, you can visit my website, svavabrooks.com, right? Happy to pass along what I've learned along the way. So been leading, holding safe space for groups since, 2013, and one-on-one coaching for about 5 years. Love this, very rewarding, very rewarding. But it's so meaningful. Love what I do. That also keeps me accountable, because I gotta take care of me first. I can't help you unless I take care of me first. So has kept me focused on taking care of Svava. It works, it's a win-win. So thank you, Sue, I appreciate it. Let's see here, Rob shared with us his comments to, what is one unhealthy coping strategy from your childhood that you know is sabotaging your life? And what small step can you take today to turn that strategy, maybe now a toxic strategy, into a healthy one? So, Rob, I don't see you share. Is it okay to share? I always liked permission. Rob, have a permission to share your sharing. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, here it goes. Yo, 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 he says, I was actually discussing this with one of our gang, isolating, catastrophic, you can't say that. Making everything into a catastrophe, right? It's like worst case scenario. Okay, after Tuesday YouTube, I was feeling good, about to wind down for sleep, and noticed a voicemail. Instant anxiety. But I listened, and it was the pharmacist asking to call back. Now, right, the catastrophizing starts. What have I done? Some bad things gonna occur, and I had to wait till next morning to call them. So I worried all night, and I didn't sleep. And it had built up like Empire State Building by then. And there was past, and in the past, I would isolate, and my twisted logic would make me not ring back as a way of burying my head in the sand, and that would cause more anxiety over what they wanted, which spirals into more avoidance, more anxiety, and in and on. But there's the new style. Come 10 a.m. that morning, I just rang the pharmacy, and it turns out I'd forgotten to pick up my meds. Nothing more. So that ended my self-created cycle of oblivion. Another example of embracing fate. So, who can relate to Rob? Anybody else do what he just did? I do remember. Right, Beverly? I absolutely get it. Right, thank you, Minnie. Right, and this is where, oh, sweet, sweet body, this is what our mind does. Yes, this is what our mind does. This is what our body does. This is what our nervous system does. It's always, especially if we have this wiring preset, if that's what we expect. That's that knee-jerk reaction. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? I didn't do anything wrong. And if something has happened, if I made a mistake, guess what? I'm going to be able to handle it. I'll be able to handle it. Thank you, Mark. Love it. He says, improving my diet, cutting back on carbs, and exercising more has improved my health, my mental health, more than I could have imagined. I hear you. I am self-care. I'm the queen of self-care. Eat healthy and exercise, absolutely. Sleep, water, all important. So makes a big difference actually. So thank you, Rob. I celebrate you, my friend. You're doing a beautiful job. Beautiful job. Yes, and in the past, the isolation would have led to shame and an addictive, destructive behavior and more shame. Woo. Yes, I hear you. So bravo, my friend, bravo. You did it. And now you have a new experience to reflect on. Remember last time? I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't, right? You were brave. You challenged yourself in the moment. I'm going to call and find out what happened. So awesome. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Excuse me. Speaking of water, I'm sitting here and I'm sweating. Just sitting here and I'm sweating. It's so hot. Got the fan going. So Sue S., I know she said she's driving, so be safe on the road. Good for you, Mark. Good for you, Mark. Let's see here. Sue S. says, I would say one unhealthy coping strategy for me is to overthink and overanalyze a situation as if to prepare myself for the worst possible outcome. Can you guys relate? That way, I feel I won't be disappointed or surprised if it does end in disaster. I think I prepare myself each day for the other shoe to drop, and it's not because I like being negative. I hate negativity, but I hate being unprepared even more because then I blame myself as if I have total control over other people. I just want to feel prepared for anything that might happen. I believe this comes from my childhood experience of being caught off guard, even though the abuse was normal. I swear it was my tactic my mother had to always keep us hypervigilant, and she loved to prove us wrong. Some days, the abuse was physical. Other days, it was emotional or sexual. Then there were really bad days where there was a horrible combination of all of them. Throw other people who did her bidding into the mix, and it was pure hell and chaos. Fear and anticipation ran rampant in our household, and I had to build a rock-hard armor to protect myself for whatever was to happen, to avoid, and yet I do understand that life just happens, and I need to take it one moment at a time. I suppose my understanding and acceptance of how my mind works is important to achieve peace within myself. Life is going to happen whether I'm ready for it or not, and there's nothing I can do about it. But present myself in a calm demeanor, and I have a plan of action to cope with the stresses of my life. I need to stop trying to control situations that are out of my hands. I am learning to be more flexible in my expectations and working through each emotion as it comes with an open mind and gentle heart. Beautiful, beautiful, Sue. Beautiful, 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 my friend. Can you guys relate? Can we give Sue as some yes? We understand. That's right. Rachel says here, I get what Sue S. is saying. I'm always trying to figure out what could happen and overthinking. That's right, Carrie. Analysis paralysis. Yes. Absolutely. Planning, micromanaging. Right? It's hard. Yes, Lady Leo says, I so relate. I was a hardcore pessimist, literally queen of expecting people to be bad and was shocked when they didn't. Not so bad now, though I am learning to expect the good in others. Right, thanks, Rob. I know you're driving, Sue, but I hope you are feeling the love. Thank you so much for putting it so eloquently into words. You are not alone, my friend. I can hold up two hands, right? That was me, that was me, that was me. Yep, exactly, exactly. So, my friends, can we do our best to recognize that all this thinking, all this processing, all this analyzing, yes, Carrie, right? Everything that's going on in here is always in service of survival. Always. And when we learn how and why, we can change. We can do different. Like when we know better, we do better, meaning towards ourselves. So again, this is where mindfulness practice, coming into the present moment, doing that little reality check, and when our mind is just, nope, I'm right on this, it's gonna happen, you're in so much trouble, is that then we need to reach out to another human, right? We need that co-regulation. We need to borrow somebody else's brain for a minute, common sense. And then when we can share it, because right inside of us, a lot of those experiences are wrapped up in really traumatic betrayal, right? We were betrayed very often by the people who were supposed to teach us trust and safety and compassion and kindness and what it looks like to be there for someone, right? But when we didn't get that, those experiences are wrapped up in a lot of pain. And this is how the mind and the body stores those memories. And when those get triggered, we don't know that it's from the past, that we are living as if it's happening right now. So understanding what's happening with our biology, our nervous system, our mind, our beliefs, and our thoughts, right? Yep, it's a lot of moving parts, keeping track of all these systems. Once we understand, okay, all right, I've been here before, this feels familiar. I understand, Carrie, right? All I knew was pain. I didn't know I was supposed to be any other way. I hear you. This was normal. Pain and suffering, hypervigilance, expecting the worst, always on guard. That was normal. That wasn't normal for everybody else. And once I realized it wasn't, I'm like, well, there must be something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me. And then that triggered that, well, and there is something inherently wrong with me, right? I'm the bad one. And that, right, is the underlying self-attack for most of us, is deep, deep shame. And when we live out of shame, we expect the worst. Because yes, right, Carrie, I felt broken. Me too. Me too. Absolutely. So I'm glad. Like, again, my friends, if you can feel some waves of anxiety or thoughts and feelings that are coming up here as I'm sharing this, I know I'm very direct about this. I know I am. But if you hang out long enough, you know I'm also doing my best to deliver this with as much warmth and as much heart as I can, because I want you to know this information. And I had to hear it 50 million times. So coming back and hearing it over and over and over again, I finally started to believe it. I hear you, Minnie. Lost in a mist. I hear you. But this is it, right? We are normalizing this hard conversation, right? Normalizing this conversation so we don't feel so bad about it, right? This is normal. What we all went through was normal given what we had been through. And so healing it, we need to normalize the healing conversation. Kicking and screaming, not fun or pretty, but we got this. We got this. Your body is ducking brilliant. Is a healing machine. Is a healing machine. It is doing the best it can. So that's right, right. And then we can understand why we disassociate, right? So, like I said, I found this article. I'm just going to share the top, but I can post this also in our group later. 7 unhealthy coping mechanisms that are secretly wreaking havoc on our psyche. This is an article from a couple years ago. I'm just going to list them and then I'll post the article in our group, in the Journey to the Heart group, so you can all see it. So, right, avoiding anything that isn't positive, catastrophizing. I don't know why I'm tripping over that word today. Jumping to conclusions, right? May seem like it's the problem, but it's the symptom, right? So the third one is isolating. 4th, downward social comparison, right? People have low self-esteem, will often seek out others they believe are somehow doing worse than them to make themselves feel better by contrast. And this backfires eventually, absolutely. So this was 4. 5, romanticizing the past. I can't, today my brain is half asleep. Romanticizing. See, English is my second language, guys. So that was number 5. And 6, overreacting to small issues. And 7, worrying as a means of self-defense. Can you guys relate to any of these? Thanks, Rob. You really got to attack the first 2 syllables? Okay, I'll keep that in mind. English is tiring. It's all here. Icelandic it flows easier. So speaking English is hard work. There's a lot of movements. So I will post the article in the group so you guys can read more about some of those things. So, and as we've covered, you are not alone. You are not alone. So I think I got everybody. Thank you guys for sharing your journal entry in the group. Really, really, really Yes, I hear you, Rachel. I hear you, Rachel. I understand. I did not know for a long time that being controlling was a survival strategy. I thought I just was particular. I was a professional. I liked things a certain way. I was a control freak and I was driving everybody crazy. Thanks, Elizabeth. Good to see you. Glad you're here. That's right, Sue. That's just how we lived. And now that I understood, like I thought it was part of my personality. This is just who I am. I'm like, but I don't like it. I could change it. Like I was sharing with someone today, I used to be the ice queen. I used to be the ice queen until I chose to become, I'm now the Queen of Hearts. We recognize those strategies and why they're here, and then we shift it out for a healthier one. Remember our power shield, right? Our identities are sometimes our coping strategies. If you write down, if you choose 4 or 5, if you notice them, and then, well, if I'm not that, then who am I? And I've shared with you guys, for me, was I'm a very kind and compassionate human. So I exchanged being a control freak for being kind. So how does a kind person live? How does she plan her day? How does she take care of herself? How does she engage with other people, right? What are some kind people that I could look up to? And my mom is calling me in the middle of a live stream. So was that helpful, Rachel? We can talk about it some more. Value-driven behavior, right? The power of our choices, moment by moment. We have 2 choices. If I'm not actively choosing what I want, I will by default be choosing my old strategy training. Coping. Again, which is the best I could, the best this body could, the best this body, without any other helpful information. Instead of being hard on myself or beat myself up for it, we change it with that intention and focus and being so kind towards ourselves, self-compassion. Surround that, wanting to change that with a lot of love and kindness and warmth for ourselves. Lady Leo. No, it's my mom. She knows. I have to call her later. So our card for today. One day, he or she woke up and realized she was rich. You are rich in choices, my friends. You are rich in who you want to be and become. What do you value? Perfect card for today. We are not our coping strategies. They're here for a reason. That you, my friend, get to choose. You get to choose now. And sometimes we have to choose every minute of every day, but you get to choose. That's right, Elizabeth, free will. Absolutely. That's it. That's it. Well, thank you so much, my sweet, sweet friends, for being here today, for being so awesome, loving, encouraging, and supportive of each other. Thank you for sharing so courageously from your heart. because you have no idea what an amazing impact you're making on your fellow survivors when they can read, when you're writing their thoughts, write out their feelings. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Really, really appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time. I'll be back here on Tuesday. Plan to be in our Facebook group tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Until then, have a beautiful evening, and I really appreciate the thumbs up, my friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. If this supports you, a little like here on YouTube goes a long ways, and I really appreciate it. Thanks, sweet friends. Stay cool. Get a good night's sleep. Have a great weekend. Yep, do something that sparks joy. All right. Thanks, friends. See you next time. Bye now.